Hey, so Scream 5, or as it's just known, Scream, or Scream 2022, is finally out and I really want to talk about it. This is my non-spoiler review of this film, and yeah, man, I'm excited because I gotta say, I was expecting to like Scream 5, as I'm gonna be calling it from now on. But I didn't just like it. It might be my second favourite Scream film. Possibly. I'm not exactly sure. It's very fresh in my mind right now, so it's hard to say. But I will say that I think Scream 5 is better than 4 and 3. And yeah, maybe 2, not as good as 1, I'll say, nothing can beat the original, but Scream 5 is definitely up there in the top tiers of this franchise, and that is just one hell of an exciting thing to say. It really impressed the hell out of me, so let's get into talking about some more of the details and talking about why I liked it. Okay, so starting off, Scream 5 is definitely one that leads hard into the nostalgia bait and all that kind of stuff. It's definitely a movie that expects you to know and love the characters preceding this film. But it is one that does mix and match some things there, where it also focuses heavily on a new set of characters and all this kind of stuff as well. It does kind of lead things up right for the fans, where it's like, yes, we're holding your hand here, we know what you want to see, but it also gives, new audiences a chance to latch on and to actually enjoy the experience as well. And I actually think it did a really good job when it comes to that kind of stuff. And I was a bit worried because this obviously is the first Scream film not to be directed by Wes Craven, as he died a few years prior to the making of this film. But with the Ready or Not directors coming on behind the helm, they did a hell of a job balancing everything that they had here, and I really enjoyed the hell out of it. Scream 5 is an awesome movie. It still has that, brand of self-aware, meta-commentary humor, all that kind of stuff that, makes fun of pop culture, pokes a bit of fun at itself and everything, and there's a bunch of callbacks to the original and to some of the previous films and everything that I also really enjoyed. Scream 5 is definitely one that knows what it's doing in terms of having a history within its own franchise, and I did like that, as it felt like it was kind of playing on what came before it, but also respecting what came before it as well. It was a great little kind of balance between those things. Scream 5 is a horror movie that is a sequel slash a reboot slash what it calls itself in the film being a requel, that I think sets things up perfectly for just about everybody to enjoy. Retroactively, it even kind of made me like the title of just being Scream, as it kind of comments on something there when it comes to reboots as well that is just really clever to me, that I like a lot as well. Something else about Scream 5, if you are concerned about it at all for whatever reason, I will tell you that there is a lot of Ghostface action here. Ghostface shows up within the first 15-20 minutes like multiple times. We see him like 2 or 3 times pretty early on. And with that, I gotta say, he is like a ferocious killer in this one. Like, there are some pretty bloody kills here, much more violent than I was expecting, much more violent than I think any of the previous Scream films have been. I might be mistaken because I haven't watched them all very recently, but there are definitely some moments that had my jaw agape where I'm like, fuck, they really killed that guy. Obviously, I won't tell you who here, but like, yeah, some people definitely die in Scream 5. And if you're like a gorehound and you're looking for that kind of stuff when it comes to this film, I don't think you're going to be disappointed. Scream 5 definitely delivers there. And yes, I'm going to continue calling it Scream 5, just by the way, okay? That's what it is, okay? Like, let's not pretend it's anything else. That's totally what it is. But yeah, Scream 5 has super brutal kills, but it also manages to allow Ghostface to still be that kind of clumsy, goofy idiot where, he gets bonked on the head a few times within this film and he'll like fall over and all this kind of stuff. There's all this greatness when it comes to this movie knowing exactly what it is. Scream 5 is not the most riveting film that you'll ever see in your life, okay? It's not the most hard-hitting drama or anything. No, it's popcorn flick fun, and it's just this good horror movie that you can watch with a few friends and just like, munch on your popcorn and enjoy. It's one that, yeah, does go kind of hard into the violence and all that kind of stuff, but never in like a truly disturbing way, just in like a, oh my god, that's kind of gross kind of way. You kind of laugh at it. And that's just kind of the beauty of this entire franchise, to be honest, and something that I've always appreciated about it. And with that being said, Scream 5 fits right in with the rest of the films. Like, just everything about it it's for the fans, but it also allows newcomers to enjoy this film. I just think it did everything really, really well when it comes to balancing that kind of stuff. Something that I do want to comment on that is maybe, I guess, a complaint when it comes to this film is that there are new characters in this film, right? And there are also the legacy characters, including Gale Weathers and Dewey and Sidney Prescott, right? And I do have to say that those legacy characters definitely take a backseat. They get a bit overshadowed by the new cast, which was a bit disappointing to me, but I guess maybe is something that I should have come to expect. I'm not really sure. I feel like the trailers really sold us on like, yes, Sydney is back. She's going to be the main character. That's not so much the case. She's still there throughout the whole movie and everything. You still see her a fair share of, time, but she's definitely not like the focus here. And so, yeah, if that's what you're going in expecting, I'm sorry to tell you that's not going to be the case, but I do think that we still get an okay amount of seeing these legacy characters, and I appreciate that they're there at all, because this could have been a film that just refreshed everything. It started everything again, rebooted it, fresh, new characters, or even recasted some of these characters. They could have done any number of things when it comes to that sort of stuff. But I like that, they have kept these legacy characters in there, and they're showing that they do respect what came before this film. Something else that I got to say about Scream 5 is that it really just breezed through, to be honest. This is such an easy watch, as most of the plot revolves around just this one night, as most of the Scream films do. Like, by the time we got to the third act, I'm like, shit, really? Already? Looking at my clock, like, yeah, I guess we are, because this is just like... It just, there's a podcast I like called The Film Vault. One of the co-hosts on that would say, it goes down smooth. And that is just something that I can definitely say about Scream 5 here. It goes down smooth. Scream as a franchise is all about the thrills and the twists and turns and all that kind of stuff. And despite doing the same thing time and time again, just being pretty much around the same plot, each film is pretty damn similar. But because each of the films keep that kind of whodunit mystery to keep you on your toes, as well as keeping updated when it comes to pop culture references and like changing their own rules when it comes to the horror themes and everything within each film, and all these sorts of things, as well as showing off its own knowledge when it comes to coinciding with slasher scares and the slasher genre itself. It's all things like this that keep us on our toes and keep Scream fresh, and Scream 5 does all of this. Yes, it is doing a pretty similar plot, but in saying so, this is all on purpose, and it's all kind of like this meta thing based on the first Scream film, and it just like... Maybe to some people it will feel lazy and it will feel like a rehash, and I understand why people would think that, but I don't think that at all. I don't think that's the case. I think that this could have easily been that, but I think that it comments enough on it, showing that they could have chosen to do something different, but instead purposefully chose to focus on things that this film did, but in a humorous way. And in a way that paid homage to what came before it. So yeah, while Scream 5 isn't particularly scary, even though I never really expected it to be, because come on, the Scream movies aren't really scary, it is definitely a fun horror movie anyway. And I was left completely satisfied, to be honest. I thought it was awesome. Scream 5 is a really fun movie that I'm sure I will rewatch many times when I rewatch the entire franchise many times in my life. It fits right in there, and it's just good. It's a good film. I like it. And that's about all I have to say. So please like, comment, share, subscribe, all that stuff. Thanks for watching and everything. And I'm gonna head out. Goodbye.